What's up, guys? It's Dr. Ramona Thomas, Coaching 562, Raw and Authentic. Y'all, I am on one today. It's been a very productive day. I've gotten a lot of tasks completed, a lot of things accomplished. And, the older I get, productivity in the list of things that I need to do, it's a win-win situation. When I can knock down the list and get it moving, I'm really excited. I'm in a happy space. So guys, you gotta excuse the hair. It's all over my head. But hey, I love natural life. Nothing like it. Let's go ahead and get into what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I'm super excited about talking. I know maybe a couple months ago, I came to YouTube and started my first session, which was 1+0, talking about being whole and complete within yourself, but then talking about the +0, which was, if you guys remember, I talked about 0 being a neutral number and you having the power to determine what you put in your life and in your space. And you can decide whether you want to put something negative in your space, or you can decide whether you want to put something positive in your space. So I wanted to speak on that and elaborate a little bit about protecting your space and protecting your space looks like for you and the process to protect your space. And this is going to go for relationships that you have with a significant other. This goes for family members. This goes for friends. It's just any type of relationship. And we know we have a large variety of different relationships within our lives. So I really want to focus on that neutral and what we put in it and protecting our space. Because I myself have been put in some positions where somebody may have done something to me or said something that made me feel uneasy, or maybe asked me to do something, or maybe had a gesture or action toward me that made me feel uncomfortable. And I used to have a hard time with speaking up for myself. I knew it wasn't right because, it's that feeling that you get down in the gut of your stomach when you know something doesn't sit well with this. It's something not quite right. And that's just that intuitive spirit that we each have, that lets us know that something is a little off. And so, guys, when you feel like something is a little off, pay attention to what you feel because it's very valid. I know I'm not an artist. I cannot sing. I wish I could, but girl, let me tell you, I cannot sing not one lick. But I do, in reading different articles and different books about artists and their journey, and I hear the story so often that music labels or producers and different people come into to assist them in their craft, and they want to change who they are. They want them to do things that they feel uncomfortable doing. And you'll hear people talk about early on in the industry how that made them feel. And when they get to acknowledge, or they get into the mode of becoming who they are and listening to their own intuitive spirits, how that shift happens. So I want to speak to that because I want you to know that if you feel that way, then one, you have to acknowledge that you feel that way. Do not feel that way and just say, oh, I'll let it pass. I won't say anything. Or no, I'll just go along with what they want me to do because, I don't want to not do what I'm not told, or I don't want to go against the status quo. Guys, if you don't feel right and it does not feel right, then acknowledge that it does not feel right. Your feelings are valid. And your intuition and your spirit that you have within you and that you feel is very valid. Pay attention to it. So by paying attention to it, that means the first step is that you have to acknowledge that it's there and that it makes you feel uncomfortable. And if something makes you feel uncomfortable in your space, You have the power to fix it. Yes, I said you have the power to fix it. So you're gonna say, Ramona, okay, I acknowledge how I feel. How do I fix this? I'm feeling weird when they ask me to do this. I'm like, or somebody hugged me the wrong way and their hand slipped or whatever it may be, and you feel uncomfortable on say, speak up, girl. So the first thing that we need to do, whether it's girls, boys, females, males, you get it. But if it makes you feel uncomfortable, then you need to acknowledge it. And once you acknowledge that, hey, this does not make me feel the way that I want to feel, or I feel uncomfortable, then once you acknowledge it, you need to process it and determine how you're going to handle it. So processing it, and when you're trying to process that emotion of how you felt uncomfortable if somebody did something to you that did not sit well with your spirit, then you need to process it. And in processing it, processing can look very different for different people. Somebody may need to take a moment to digest what happened so that they can truly digest and focus on what that emotion was or what that evoked for them. And some people may not want to address it and may want to leave it alone. Hey, you got to do what's best for you. But if you want to process it and acknowledge it and you want to speak on it, that's going to be the next thing that you need to do. And when you're processing it, you need to determine what you're going to do when you speak on it. First of all, you need to determine if you're going to speak on it or if you're not. But if you choose to speak on it, then you need to come to the realization of what you're going to speak on. And when you speak on it, there's two things that's going to happen. Either you're going to speak on it and release it, or either you're going to speak on it and still decide to have a relationship with that person. And for me, when making decisions like that, I have to ask myself that 1 + 0. If I speak on this and I let them know how I feel, because I'm going to acknowledge how I feel, I'm going to process it. 9 times out of 10, Ramona is probably, at this point in my life, I'm going to let you know if something makes me feel uncomfortable or it's not right in my spirit. I am going to let you know. But in that, when I want to speak to something, I have to ask myself, okay, am I ready for what may come with me speaking on it? And speaking on it, this person may feel like they've done nothing and they may have a void ear and not take to heart what I have said that bothered me. They may continue to do it. So at that time or at that moment, I'm going to release it. And then there are some instances when people do things that make me feel uncomfortable. I speak on it and release it immediately because I know that's not the energy that I'm picking up from that person, and I don't want that energy to be a part of my space. But then there are moments when we have things with our family members or a significant other that may do something that we don't agree with, then you need to speak on it. You need to let them know how you feel. But if you are in a healthy relationship, you are not going to throw that away based on something that may not have set well with you. You may want to work through with that person. And if that person is able to acknowledge and you're able to move past that, then you still want them a part of your life. And guys, not just in relationships with people, with your significant other, but that is a relationship with family members, relationships with friends. And guys, I hate to say that, but sometimes we lose some family members along the way, which we don't want to. Sometimes if you have a family member that's violating you and that's not making you feel comfortable, it's okay to release that. Once you've processed that, you acknowledge that and you process however you need to process that, and you have to release it, that's perfectly okay. So what I just want you guys to really focus on, if somebody is doing something that does not provide positive energy and that does not give you peace, then you need to speak on it, and you have the option to decide whether you want to release that or whether or not you want to maintain their relationship. So I just wanted to really come to you guys because as a single woman, there are going to be times when I'm going through and I'm dating and I'm getting to know people. There are going to be situations that I may not agree with or I may feel uncomfortable spaces I may feel uncomfortable in. And if I am dating, then I have to speak up as a woman to let that man know, no, this is not how I roll. This is not who I am as a woman. So no, I'm not going to go in this direction or this route. And sometimes, lady, you have to ask men, especially when they come to you from the left with wanting to be sexual, and you're not in that space and you're just getting to know them. Because guys, this dating world is interesting, but you have to let people know, like, who do you think I am? Sometimes ask the question, who do you think I am? What information from me did you receive that made you think that I was that person? But that's off on another tangent, which I would love. I gotta get into some dating sessions, which I'm not gonna get into. But guys, I just want you to remember that 1 + 0 equation that I talked about a couple months ago. You are a whole number, and you determine what you put in your space. If somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, you have the power to acknowledge how you feel, process it in the way that best suits you, because we are all different individuals. And you have the power, sorry, hair's in my mouth. You have the power to speak on it and maintain that relationship, or you have the power to speak on it and release that relationship. That's solely up to you. But whatever you do, guys, you are in control of what you allow in your life. So I hope that in this session that you know that you are worthy. You are more than capable of speaking up for yourself and acknowledging what is right and wrong in your space for you. And that's okay. Everybody that we meet, or every relationship that we encounter, may not be a lasting relationship. And that's just not talking about a man. People come in our lives for seasons, and sometimes we have to release them when they are no longer being positive and they are bringing negative energy to our space. So with that being said, it is Mother's Day weekend. All the moms out there, I hope that your week is full of love, laughter, and peace. Enjoy your weekend. Eat all your favorite treats. Don't exercise this week. No, I'm just kidding. I'm telling y'all that because that's what I'm going to do. I'm taking a hiatus because I'm like, it's Mother's Day week leading up to the weekend. So I'm going to do all the things that I want to do, including get a hold to some good ice cream. Anyway, guys, you guys have a great week. Enjoy the remainder of your Thursday. And remember to judge less, love more, listen more, talk less, compare less, and focus more. You guys have a great day. Coaching 562. Peace.